get yours. There is more. In 2022, I was seated somewhere around there. This is my church. I was there somewhere around there. And Pastor T, thank you. Thank you for just doing what you do. And he just gave the word. Right? The word was something around what you're doing now is insignificant. As you start to do it more and more, the light of God is coming upon you. The word was so strong, I knew it was my word. When I got home that day, I played that part on our YouTube page and literally wrote down that prophecy, and I started to pray with it day in, day out. Then I had like 1,000 followers, or nobody knows my papa. And then I was also in a situation, I'd gotten into a series of debts. My wife helped. She took out all her savings. Women have money in piggy vest. She had taken out all her money in piggy vest and given it to me. We used to have 2 cars. We've sold one. At a point, I converted the car. When I'm coming from work, I would do Yanoworo. What's that thing? Yanoworo. I started forgetting now. Ikoyi, I'll carry passengers to my vehicle so that I can make, money on the side. I remember I have an insurance policy then, And Pastor Omi, thank you. Pastor Omi is my account officer in the insurance space. I didn't even tell her before I withdrew the money. You are saving for your future. I said, it is somebody. Let me save myself now. Before the future, let me save myself now. So I took all the money, was just trying to pay off the loan. And then I started reaching out to some people. Bishop, thank you very much. He just spoke that word to me that day, and it was as though a veil was lifted up my eyes. He just said, why are you just paying and all of that? And for me, that was also the turning point, coupled with the word, the prayer I've been praying from that time. I just committed time to doing what I was doing, the little thing, the simplicity at which I write my content. I really am not, even though I read accounting, even though I'm a doctoral student, I'm going to get a PhD. That doesn't matter. I want to break down things so that my audience can understand. I just share simple stories every day. I come online, God, what story would you have me share today? And I share the story. That's what I do literally. So out of sharing these stories, I started getting responses from people. And there are things that I do, things happening in my daily life are things that I share. And as I start to share, I start to get responses. I started seeing the numbers go up. 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. And it's not even the vanity metrics. It's not the numbers, but the opportunities.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. A lot can happen in 2 years. If I tell you, there was a time I was in church. I sat beside someone. Let me see whether the person is here. When we started doing pay offering into account, right? And Pastor Bola was the one that made an announcement that day and said, oh yeah, your offering, pay your offering and all of that. And everybody logged into their account. Yes. God forgive me. And I mistakenly saw that person's, the balance.
Yes.
Many zeros. The song that came to my mind, I'm serious. Jesu Yoshe Yanu. Baba Miyo. But today, I check my account balance and I'm seeing the number of zeros. I'm getting my statement of account, for my investment, yes. Codros, Cardinal Stone Partners, yes. All the guys that I deal with. And I'm checking, I'm seeing the zeros. I sent money to my wife. We paid after school. We paid some bills. And then I'd forgotten that we've paid it. I just asked her again that, babe, please, have I paid for this? I'm going to send you money for this. But you have paid now.
Too much money.
I paid. I've forgotten that I have paid. Yes. A lot can happen in a very short while. But to bring to conclusion what I'm saying,
yes.
Get your word. There is a word for every person. Don't miss that word. And let me tell you what my itinerary looks like for the rest of this year.
Yes.
Right? 24th, I'm speaking to a group in Canada. I'm going to OAU. I'm going to Crawford University. I'm going to Umaya. I'm going to some school in Zupa. Places that I've never heard before. Yeah. I'm going to London this year.
Yes. And all that happened in the space of 2 years.
A lot can happen.
Now, I before you drop the mic, I want to ask. I hear you saying, or you said that, at some point you had to, because of the financial stress, you had to do like carpool, right? What were the okay, so you had your word, right? That's one. And then at some point you also had to, do the carpool. What would you say was like maybe the little, because I think the power of compound effect is also very important here. Sometimes we think it's in doing the big things, but sometimes it's really in being consistent with the little things. So what were the little things that you just changed and you were consistent with?
Okay, I think the first thing is, if you are broke, broke. There are two kind of people. There are those that are broke, which is just a temporary state. They are broke because they have their money in investment. But we have the broke, those that are broke and they don't have money anywhere. So if you're in that space, your 5 to 9, let's say you have a job, you have a 9 to 5. The inverse of that is your 5 to 9. Your 5 to 9 becomes an asset. You can't be broke and you are sleeping and you're saying weekend. After church, you go home and sleep. It's not possible. Your 5 to 9 becomes an asset. Let me tell you, apart from that carpooling, another thing I do, that I still do now, I just got a message from one of my clients, and I'm not joking. While I was seated there, wait.
We believe you.
She said, this is just now. Good afternoon, Shay. Please, what souvenir item can I get for 15K each? Lagos Market.
And you're in Abuja.
There is nobody that knows Lagos Market more than me. Gorodom, Balogun. Oh, Jesus. Guys, let me not take time. Let another person just talk.
All right, please put your hands together for him. And yes, I can attest to that because I think you've done. So, Pastor Mulao, I want to ask something. She said something about, it was she who said something about, paying his debt, My question is it a wise idea to pay up your debt with loans? Because I know people are seated here now, and I'm sure that there's someone who has a debt and he's thinking, how do I get out of this? Do I take a loan to pay up the debt?
Okay, thank you and welcome everybody. So it's not a straight answer, and it depends on the debt. So if I'm going to get a cheaper debt to pay off existing loan, that makes sense. So if I have a loan at 20%, I'm able to get a cheaper loan maybe at 10%, that can make sense. But in that case, if you are taking expensive money to pay a loan, it doesn't make sense because it's still that same debt circle. But as much as possible, I think people should try and avoid debt, except you are using it for investment. So in investment, they tell us that debt is cheaper than equity, and which is true. If I'm able to see an investment that is going to give me a better return than my cost of debt or the money I'm paying on the loan, it makes sense. It's a no-brainer. However, if I'm taking debt to live La Vida Loca, I'm traveling over the world, I'm buying iPhone 15, I'm driving cars I can't afford to impress people that don't care about me, that doesn't make sense. So it depends on what you're using debt for. Debt can be good if it's used to good use. And look at it, any big company usually have a debt on their book. So they'll tell you about your capital structure, and you can have a good level of equity, a good level of debt. Dangote, for instance, is always in the CP market, raising commercial paper. But it just needs to expand its business to scale. So debt is not a bad thing. It's the intention, the use of it. And taking debt to pay your loan is also not a bad thing if it's cheaper than the existing loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in short, don't take a loan to do low spending, right?
Absolutely,
to flex. Yeah. All right. So Ma, I want to ask, you talked about, by the way, I read that online, when you talked about a chartered accountant being a chartered donut maker, was really hilarious, but it was really impactful. Now, there's this concept, some people say when you're doing too many things, it's like you're being a jack of all trades. How do you balance that with multi-streams of income?
All right, so let me try and unbundle that question very quickly. Why should you have multiple streams of income? Your expenses are multiple in nature. And in most cases, it's hard to be able to meet all your expenses from one source of income. That's reason number one. Reason number two is, money is so fickle that money loses value all the time. For example, you had 360,000 in your bank account 6 years ago. You could buy $1,000. If you had left that money as 360,000 in your Naira bank account by now, you would have realized that, it was, if you had converted it to $1,000, you would have had that $1,000. And that's why you see wealthy people. Why is Elon Musk moving from Tesla to Twitter, from Twitter to space? It's not because they just want to do many things. They are also secure. Remember my topic, building and sustaining. It takes a whole lot to sustain the money that you have, the wealth that you have. Every single day, money is depreciating. So when you look at it from that point of view, it gives you a reason to want to sort of fortify your income base. Now, coming to the question, if you do many things, would you not be termed as, a jack of all trades? I tell people that there's a stage in your life where jack of all trades, you don't have to be master of all, which is fine. Sometimes you are jack of all trades because you need that multiple sources of income to make ends meet. As you consolidate your resources, as you find your bearing, it gets better. Why did I drop donuts and egg roll? My finances became better, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather use my time to do, because at that time, I would stay all night with my house help. Something that I just wanted to experiment, and then it became and all of a sudden, people were calling, Ma, we need 200. I'm like, hey, no. I'd rather use my time for something else. But whilst it lasted, I enjoyed it. So, if bills are multiple in nature, you have to find a means of augmenting and ensuring that your needs are met. So, you don't have to be master of all. I tell people, like 4 years ago, I had about 12 sources of income. And I still tell you till today.
Sorry, did you say 12?
Yes.
Okay. That's a record breaker.
There is no single day of my life where I don't get a credit alert. Up until today. Today's alert has come in. It's a function of systems. But there are things I do that don't make it to social media. What I want you to know me as on social media is a chartered accountant, a finance and wealth coach. That's all you know. But there are many things I do that you don't know. So don't be that person whose page has Gary, has Egro, has Weavon. Be known for something, but back end, consolidate. Do things that will help your finances and help you meet your needs. So jack of all trade, master of none. I don't have to be a master of none, of all, as long as my needs are met. But when you hear Shola Adeshaki, what comes to mind? Every other thing, the monies that I made back end, they give me more money than what you know me for. But I'm fine with it. Do you see? So I'm encouraging you. The goal is to get yourself to a level whereby you put in the right systems in place so that your needs are met, whilst you are known as master of one. Extra. Do you want me to share the 12 sources of income? Who wants to know?
Please go ahead.
Now, just to give you an idea, they're basic, simple things. I call them my C's. Some of them I don't do again because time and, levels have changed. But if opportunities still come, I do them. Number one is my career as a chartered accountant. Like my profile read, I'm an accountant in 3 continents. Nigeria, Africa, the UK, and Canada. I don't actively practice accounting again because my passion has changed. But I'm still a chartered accountant. I pay millions every year. How can I leave money on the table? So I partnered with someone who has a passion for accounting. I bring in the clients, she executes. I just know that end of the month, money comes into my account. That's number one. I'm a coach, finance coach. I coach individuals. I coach high net worth individuals. Some of these other things that I run after, when one of my clients pays me, I'm okay for the year. So I coach. Number 2, C. Number 3, C. Are you still interested? I earn commissions. I sell tickets. As I am. What does it cost me? I signed up on big ticketing agencies. Waka Now, Travel Start, Travel Den. Some people are too lazy to go online to go and buy tickets. So they come to me and say, Shola, I need a ticket. On some tickets, I make 1 million naira. What did I do? I sit behind my computer, I check from to, I do all the details, I give it back to you. I earn commission. You can be an affiliate. And it doesn't have to be commission tickets. There are companies who are looking for people that can sell their products for them. But you know, all these, there's a popular term that we say now. You are trying to post, trying to impress people that do not even care about you. So commissions. I'm a creative. I design websites. And not just any type of website.
You design websites?
I design and I build websites.
Wow.
That is why the people that work with me, they can't use me to do yanga. I'm a very spontaneous person. I can wake up in the middle of the night and I want something up. You know, I call them and I say, Madam, okay, in 2 weeks we will do it. You're wasting my time. I go online, bang, 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 I fixed it. There was a time in my life I was doing social media management for people. I made money from it. A credit alert is always a credit alert. I don't do that anymore, but I'm telling you, the young people, that's why I'm saying, what are you doing with your time? How many C's? Number 5, I told you I'm a confectioner. I went to learn how to make donuts. Yours truly, chartered donut maker. God forbid, if my enemy is broke today, it's a skill I can always fall back on. When you learn things, you learn it for yourself. Give me flour, sugar, butter on this stage. I will make donuts, egg roll, scotch egg, and I will sell. Money gravitates towards value. Value is a function of what you can bring to the... Are we still together? How many C's? Number 6C, I am a conference speaker. I've spoken in places where the money they gave me as conference speaker fees is more than what I will get in 1 year from my investments. So I continue to own my skills. Tell yourself, I am the asset. Some of you, you are looking for investments, which is good, which is fine. I'm not against investments. But sometimes, when you invest in yourself, the money that you will make using your gift and talents, one time will give you all of the money that your investments will not give you in 2 years. How many C's?
6.
Let me stop there.
Yeah, please put your hands together.
Because of time.
Because somebody is busy writing. All right, Pastor Bolao, I want to ask, have you ever made a bad investment?
Definitely. I don't think there's anyone that's ever made any. I don't think there's anyone that's not made a bad investment. I've made couple of bad investments, but they're there to win more than you lose. Yeah. I usually share the popular story of when I tried fish farming with a friend, and the fish just stopped growing. We kept feeding the fish. All of a sudden, I even took my daughter's school fees then, put into the fish farm. But of course, I knew there was money coming and all that. So we sold at a loss, but at work as well, there have been some maybe wrong investments. But I would say over time, because investments sometimes are in circles, you're able to understand the financial markets. So the chance of making losses are being reduced. And I'll say sometimes you just need to do it afraid. You need to have all the facts. So I'm not saying you should make an investment with not having facts. I think the mistake is that a lot of people take wrong investment decisions. They don't have enough knowledge. So get enough knowledge. Try to know the risk in every investment and what are the mitigants. So people just go into investment blindly. Every investment has risk. Yeah. So know the risk, and for every risk, know that there are mitigants. And if you're able to sort of take all the mitigants, then can go into the investment. I think another thing is
so how do you spot those red flags in an investment?
Okay, so the popular case is the MMM. And I can remember when that happened, I was so sure that it was just a matter of time. I can remember telling my wife that this was going to just fold up. A lot of people in our office were doing it. And I don't think she did it, but she was also, but these people are making money now. She sees them making money and all that. but eventually they folded up. So when investment does not have any underlying assets, what are they investing in? That's a red flag. The person that is in charge of the investments, maybe it's just one person, it might be a red flag because that's a key man risk.
Yeah.
What if that person is no more? If the investment or the vehicle is not registered as well, that's a red flag. So track record as well. What is the track record of that investment? I want to tell you that this thing is guaranteed. You can never lose money. That's also a red flag. And I can remember when all these agri-tech companies were sort of taking expensive money, maybe they say 30% for a month. I knew that a lot of them were going to fold up because it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
So understand the underlying assets from that investment.
Yeah.
There should be a track record and what the sponsor of that investment. And if all those boxes don't tick, those are some of the red flags for that investment.
All right, thank you very much. Shay, I'd like to ask you, balancing. I mean, some people are entrepreneurs, some people are professionals. How do you balance? Because I know that you do both, right? How do you balance being an employer and being an employee? Yeah, being an employee and being an entrepreneur, doing your own thing.
Okay, I think the word balance should be thrown out. A lot of times you can't really balance things. You just have to do the things that you need to do. So there are times that some things are more important. This is where the scale of preference comes to play. You know, it's just like talking to a married woman, right? There are times that you need to put a scale of preference. And let me give an example. I got an opportunity. I got a job in Abuja, right? And when I was talking to people at my conference, I held a finance conference in Abuja, and one person asked the question, and it happens to fall on the Women's Day, right? So if it was my wife who got the opportunity to move to Abuja for a job, would she have taken that step? Maybe not, because on the scale of preference, our kids are still small, right? They need her at that point in time. So what I'm saying in essence is this word balance. There are times that Oma Fisibikon. You have to,
Okay, so
this
how
is
do you
what is
manage?
more important. So for me, I think it's delegation. You must be willing to trust people more. There are times that I set aside some things. I have some invitations that I can't honor because I have to do things for my boss. We have a calendar. I've planned the year out, right? These are things that I need to do. I only take invitations, or I only honor invitations on dates that are free, that we don't have anything to be done in the office. Yeah. So that's what I do.
All right, please put your hands together for him. Quickly, we will take questions now. Okay, so this person says, how do I begin my investment journey? There seem to be so much buzz about investment, but no clear guide on how to start. I'm 40 and I'm worried I'm late at this. Yes.
Well, so I'll say never too late to start. There's no better time to make a right decision. So you can start from where you are. Interestingly, a lot of the billionaires worldwide, if you look at the statistics, they began to make money in their 50s and in their 60s. So as a 40-year-old man, you are still young. What I would say is that just start simple. There are different kinds of investments, but you need to understand investments. So you can start with a simple money market fund, for instance. What that does for you, it gives you capital preservation and gives you liquidity. And understand your life cycle. So for instance, how much am I making? Do I have a job? How much can I afford to keep? Do I have kids, for instance? I remember a story, someone that has retired, earned a lot of money while working, and he went to put all his investments in a risky investment, and he lost everything. At that state of your life, you can't afford to do risky investment. So you need to understand your life cycle. What kind of investment can I take? But I'll say start small, start simple, start with like a money market investment, fixed deposits, commercial paper. Those gives you guarantee. Then of course, begin to read investment articles. You can register with an investment firm. What they do for you is that they do research, they give recommendation, and that helps you. But it's never too late to start. 40 is too young. So please start your investment journey.
Yes, please, go ahead. Quickly, ma.
First of all, Lord and Lady Fela and Taradute. Good afternoon. All right, so what I want to say to that question is the word buzz. See, we get carried away by buzzes, and that's where That's why we make a lot of mistakes. Based on what we already said earlier on, financial mastery has become very important to have. So it's not just about the buzz. Everybody says you should invest. That's not enough reason for you to invest. We have established that you have to become aware of the need to put the right things in place regarding your finances. We have established the fact that you need to learn how to make, manage, and multiply money. So you move from awareness to getting knowledge, and from knowledge to getting the right skill set and having the right mindset. So don't invest because there is a buzz about investing. Invest because you understand that investment is one of the ways you can sustain the money, the wealth that you are creating. Make it, manage it, multiply it, then learn how. So that buzz, there will always be buzzes. And there will be buzzes about the kind of investments you should do. And that's why we don't know about some things and we dive into them. We come out fingers burnt and then we are looking for the next buzz. May our lives not be run by buzzes. Get knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to end. Please put your hands together for our panelists, Pastor Bolaho, Mrs. Shola Adeshaki, and Sheyi Abiodun. And also, I want us to just remember that, like the first speaker said,